Morning. Good evening, good night, friends and family. Welcome to another edition of Just Reasoning Live. Apparently, it's the red edition tonight. I am a rebel, so I'm gonna follow certain things. I'm one of your hosts, C-Dub. We have a few special guests with us tonight as we discuss all things. We're just reasoning about what we do on the show: music, entertainment, sports, politics, what have you. So. We just want to amplify the voice of our community, our Caribbean community, and our Black community. So we have C-Dub and Tex tonight, our regulars, and then we have a few special guests with us. One of them you've seen before, Jazzy. What? How you doing?
I'm blessed.
You're blessed? Yes. That's that Buju song. Okay. The future Grammy Award winning Buju.
Here we go.
Yeah. And we have out of Trelawney. Wakefield Trelawney, the biggest Arsenal fan you'll ever meet, Mr. Richie Royal.
Oh God!
Brother,
Stop telling lie. Good morning, everybody. How you doing?
Yeah, so I think the Arsenal jersey lost, so I couldn't really. You might have to find something in the trash. I
Right.
got my new jersey.
Right.
Anyway, people, bag of things going
It's
on.
real. You're jealous, like.
It's definitely hate. It's a legitimate hate. Coming like a MAGA hat you have on. Anyway, all right.
Enjoy.
So, in the midst of what's going on right now, as we reason about these subjects, we're in the middle of politics season. Politics season in two different places that are near and dear to all of our hearts.
Right.
As we speak right now, the Democratic National Convention is on. Have y'all been watching it?
I'm still watching.
You still watching it?
Jazzy.
Jazzy, you're not watching it? Jazzy,
No,
not at all?
I'm on Zoom right now.
Yeah, I'm talking general. It's been going on all week.
Somewhat.
Somewhat, yeah. But
You just know when is going on. I didn't even know what was going on, to be honest.
yeah. So
Did I miss Obama tonight?
Obama is on tonight.
He's on it. Yeah.
He's probably be on in about 30 minutes. So tonight,
Yeah, but
go on.
No, but everybody's watching this, so don't even worry about it. They're probably taping Obama. So don't even
Exactly.
worry about that.
Yeah, Obama's watching.
Yeah.
Obama record earlier because about the reason. But so it's the format is obviously different this year because they don't have like the in-person convention. And
Right.
I must say it has been excellently produced. For one, because it's the virtual format, it's shorter, right? The whole thing is 2 hours each night rather than all day long. And the speeches, instead of being an hour, are like 10, 15 minutes.
10 minutes.
At most. You know what I mean? So that's I think it has been well done. Also, the other thing, it's election time in Jamaica. So here's one big difference, which I'll talk about. So Jamaica's general election is coming up on September 3rd. And the Prime Minister called the election like last week. So that's a major difference between Jamaican politics and US politics.
Big difference.
In Jamaica, you campaign for a couple weeks and then people go and vote. In the US, you're basically campaigning for 2-3 years.
Right.
So, I mean, you're talking about I don't even know what the numbers are, but the amount of money that is spent on US elections is absolutely ridiculous. So, that's
I mean, that money could
only
be better use.
What you say now?
I'm sorry. Are there only like two parties in Jamaica? Like how many?
Basically.
It's just two.
The other one's still around. What's the name? NDM? That's still around.
NPP. I think it's like Christian one, but even though I'm not paying no mind. They're not really effective. Yeah,
but for the most part, it's two. Yeah.
Yeah, PNP and JLP.
Yeah. So the JLP. And another difference is, you don't really vote for a prime minister, right? You vote for your member of parliament. Whoever had the most houses, the most seats in parliament, the head of that party becomes the prime minister. You know, so that's another significant difference. And you know, the way I figure, as I was saying to my Arsenal brethren here earlier, is that when it comes to Jamaican politics, it's much more tribal than it is ideological, right? If you come from a certain place, live in a certain area, then you go into, you know, that's a JLP area, that's a PNP area, versus PNP believes certain things and JLP believes certain things. You know, so I'm not a part.
Issues aren't the priority.
Yes,
Yeah.
but funny enough,
Yeah.
right? Funny enough, check this out now, right? I'm from the community of Friendship Trelawney. So when you sign up for Facebook, they never have Friendship. They only have Wakefield, which is the neighboring community. Wakefield is a PNP area. No. Wakefield is a JLP area. Let me correct them out. Wakefield is a JLP area.
Yeah.
But the Friendship
is PNP.
is a PNP area. But me go in a JLP yard. Don't have Friendship.
Okay.
Get that?
Yeah.
Right? So when you say it's tribal, for the most part, but you have people like myself with the majority of Friendship, PNP. As of late, it's been changing, but normally, when I was growing up, it's just all basically PNP in a community. But in my yard, my granny have one big bed.
Yeah, so like in our house, you know, Daddy always voted JLP, and Mommy, the Davis side, are always PNP, right? So it's like, again, it's not really policies that differ. You know, in the U.S., Republicans believe certain things, Democrats believe certain things, and you can talk to somebody just on what they believe about certain things, and you know which party they're with. It's not really that in Jamaica. It's
talking points.
It's just where you're from. You know, for the most part. You know,
for the most part. Yeah, for the most part.
I'm sure you can talk to some, you know, stalwart Jamaican politicians.
If you want to go in depth with it, you can go in depth to see the real differences. But for the most part, certain areas, you know, support certain things, and you know,
it's like a loyalty thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and you know, it's a loyalty thing, and what, you know, you raise a certain way, you know, your father vote a certain way, so it just kind of it pass it down.
All in the line, yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, like I said, not everybody will agree with that view, but you know, from my perspective, that's what I've seen. So I mean, for example, like once I moved here, I heard them refer to the JLP as the Conservative Party, and the PNP as, you know, the other party. But you know, to me, it didn't make sense, you know, because, you know, Daddy is a Democrat, you know, a staunch Democrat, you know, so how could he support the Conservative Party? So I'm saying it's not really ideology. It's just that's what his father voted, and
but
so,
if you think about the conservative side of the JLP, you think about Bruce Golding interview did in Canada.
Yeah.
You think about that.
Yeah.
That can show you the basis of it.
Yeah, but anyway, so that, you know, September. So what U.S. should take from Jamaica election: stop campaigning for 5 years and spend all these millions of dollars. I mean, that's one thing I really wish would change. I mean, it's like a perpetual election cycle, you know. But anyway,
because I mean, you're a friend Trump. You're a friend Trump. Basically,
whoa.
You're a bitch. You talk about him every day. You talk about him every day.
Hey, watch out. He might mute you.
You might as well put a Man U jersey on me before you.
This guy, hey, that part of the audio gone through already. You can't take him out. I'm not post Virgin. You talk about him every day.
Hey, I will put on a MAGA hat before I put on a Man U jersey.
Really?
Nah.
Jesus, what a boy wicked.
Oi!
So,
anyway.
You're a friend. All right. In my opinion, I read somewhere that he wasn't going to win. Like, he wasn't trying to win. Mm-hmm. But then, the snowball effect happened and he actually won. Right? But he was actually scared.
I 100% believe that.
He was actually scared because this was just a big publicity stunt. That's all. Just get his name on a higher platform, and then look where man reach, brother.
Hey, I believe that with all my heart. You know,
That's
for one,
exactly what happened.
I mean,
I read that somewhere. I can't remember, but I read that somewhere.
yeah, man. A whole lot of people run for office to get you know, cause you're not going to do anything else in your life that get you that much attention. So
Right.
I think he did that just to just get a bus off it and then raise it, can charge higher rent and all this thing for all this, and then he just happened to win because of a bunch of other things. And so I think when he looks back on this, it will be the worst thing that ever happened to him. Right now, he have all the power in the world.
I believe so.
That's why I'm fighting so hard to stay in that office. Because once that man leave office, that man is going to jail. So this is going to end up being the worst thing that ever happened to him. But yeah, they're saying that, he didn't even write a victory speech in 2016. He didn't think he was going to win.
Yeah.
And he just, hey, look what happened. He happened to win. But anyway,
a big joke.
I can talk about him for a while, but I won't.
Real life. A big joke.
Yeah. But this country.
What happened about it?
This country needs to change.
Because here I go now. Me know people, Me know black Jamaican man, multiple of them, who vote for Trump.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to talk about it.
Yeah, of course. Hey,
of course they are.
Because here I go now. Certain policies, when you put certain policies in place, the effect they have on people. Like, I got into a big argument in a barbershop. When I talk about Trump, want lower taxes and rate it for rich people. I'm say, oh, how much you pay taxes last year? I say, how much you pay? I say, I'm a barber for how much years now? I say, I know all the business. You not pay nothing. Let me say, me pay a lot of money last year.
Straight cash, homie.
I want back a thing, brother. I want back something. I pay a whole heap of money in taxes. For me paying the taxes at that time was up there. So give me back something. But only they are complaining. So who feels it though? Because a person that was in my position now would just, say, all right then. That Trump said, well, me take a 20 grand fine. No problem. You understand?
You're right. All the people hide and vote for it.
All right then. Enough people. Those numbers aren't inflated by any means,
Hey, you still voting for Kanye?
Me? Well, someone text me. Well, no man, somebody text me and say he won't be on the Texas ballot, so I guess we have to go vote for the Jamaican lady then. Come in now and vote for Georgia.
Hey. Not just a Jamaican. I said this last week. Not just Jamaican, but Sentan. Not just Sentan, but Brownstown, which is right side of Clarksonville. So put some respect on Sentan name. Remember that.
All right, okay, good.
Boy, he have to take it back to himself, boy. All right.
Per usual.
Jazzy, come on, anime.
All right.
All right.
All right, let's roll.
All right. So, all right, moving on. Politics. Kamala talking tonight, speaking tonight, and all that. But moving on to a few other issues. JamMaster Jay, legendary DJ from a legendary rap group, was murdered in 2002. I didn't realize that it was that long ago.
Right.
Unsolved murder. All these years. This past week, they arrested 2 people with the murder of JamMaster Jay. So, the indictment says basically that it was basically a coke deal, where I guess Jay was financing it and was squeezing somebody out of the deal. This is what the indictment said. Who knows what is what? Was squeezing somebody out of the deal. One thing led to another. Walk in the man's studio and shot him in his head, in front of other people. And all these years, nobody say a word. That's what happens in the game. You know what I mean? So it's a sad situation, but I'm glad at least, somebody, there's at least a possibility of justice. You know what I mean? We think about just how many unsolved murders there are. You know what I mean?
Biggie,
Tupac,
Biggie, and just
Tupac isn't dead, by the way.
Hey, last time I was in Jamaica, I saw him in Clarksonville.
See, go, hey,
think Cuba.
hey, me see one t-shirt last week. That's what me see.
For that matter, Bob Marley.
He's in Cuba.
Hey,
Yeah,
there are definitely places that Tupac could go and hide out for all these years in Jamaica and nobody find him easily.
True.
Some of them bush places up center,
True.
nobody would have a clue who that man is.
Yo, I've flown into Kingston Airport one time in my life. About half my time by Boko. Flying at Kingston Airport. I mean, actually fly over Jamaica for the first time in my life, like directly over Jamaica. There's so much untouched territory up top of Jamaica. Like, no, there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our story. Tupac in the hill someplace in JA, chilling. But to the JamMaster.
Somebody had to be. There's a rat involved.
I mean,
There's a rat.
probably. Yeah.
After all this time, it would have to
20
be.
years
I mean,
like-
it's not like they
like-
found some DNA and linked it to somebody 20 years later.
So, for one of them was already in jail, was already in prison. So, I mean, they're probably leaning on him, about reducing his sentence and what have you.
Exactly.
And then people start talking. But yeah,
He's the rat.
Of course.
But why would he? Why would he be considered a rat though? Because check it out now. If somebody was unjustly murdered, right, and you see it with your own,
I'll take this.
No, what you gonna do? Me a talking. You say if you deserve to get killed, me not say I heard enough. But you see if you do foolishness and kill somebody for no reason, officer, I'm do it. You can't call me informer. I don't care. I don't care. In kill a man for no reason, or in kill a woman for no reason, in figure jail.
Definition of an informer.
I forget dead. What I do of them?
Informer.
Definition.
Not that.
If you tell on somebody for personal gain, you are informer. You are snitch.
Stitches get stitches.
Right. Now,
Okay,
if you something just happens and like you said, somebody deserved to get killed and what may have you, and you tell or you save you're saving somebody or something like that, by all means tell. But if you tell on somebody for personal gain,
They found God or Allah in jail.
What?
Or they're trying to get a lighter sentence.
Yeah.
They've been in jail for 20 years. Hey,
look,
if you give us this and we're gonna let you out. I mean, it's that simple.
Some people have that opportunity, but in terms of just seeing things happening, like, I mean, all right, if you listen to this Politics Watch, this guy Serpi, he always talk about the people that see things like that happening in our community and don't say nothing. That's why you have all these people at Jamaica run up and down like a bad man. Like them own the place. I don't know it.
Or Mexico.
Yeah.
Like
really run the place.
Yeah.
No, in real life, them own Mexico in real life.
Yeah.
Talk over them.
Man, I was watching this documentary on Netflix. I forgot the name of it, but it's like the world's most wanted. And first of all, I didn't know that there was a man bigger than El Chapo, right? Is in the same clique, the same cartel, but there's one above him, but that nobody even know. So that's
because he wasn't flashy. He's the big boss.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You don't say a word.
Yeah, don't say a word.
They literally
the loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room.
Exactly. I never heard of this man's name until last week. And he's older, and Chapo is the one who gets all the attention, but him just sitting there just collecting his billions. And they literally so they had a war, on the street with his cartel against the Mexican Marines. I mean, some big dirty guns the cartel have to get to the point where the Marines call for a truce and literally walk out there and shake the cartel. Shake their hands. And say,
let's go home.
Yes, you got
We don't want this. We don't want this. Let's go.
So they run that place.
Yeah, that really like that place.
Yeah, and so actually after, like, when the next, I don't think they call it president or prime minister in Mexico, when the next leader took over, he made an announcement saying they're going to stop going after drug lords. It's like it don't really make any sense. It's not going to stop what's going on. It's just going to get a bunch of people killed. So we're just going to focus on other things. Focus on treating people and what have you.
Wow.
This war against the drug lords, we're done.
We're just gonna give up.
Y'all won. Yeah, y'all got it. So hey, I get it. So because it is so. I mean, the money is so deep in all. All through the police force and the government. They're running the place.
If that's the case, but you know what though, in our actuality, those cartels pay the community so much money. It doesn't really aid them for them to leave.
Yeah.
It's not like Jamaica where them are extras for liquor shop them or something like that. Yeah. It's like that. Them are cultivate, and them are pay the areas, and everybody all right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a different.
Anyway, what I actually seen there was a documentary on JamMaster Jay. I saw. It's like Who Killed JamMaster Jay, I think was the name of it, which I saw within the past year or so. And now that I'm thinking back on it, the guy who did this investigation, he's not even a police or anything. It was just somebody from Queens, and I think Jay was a brethren of his. And a lot of his theories, thinking back on it, kind of turned out to be true. So hey, I'm glad his family will be able to get some justice out of this. But hey, it sucks. I didn't realize that the man missed the whole Obama presidency and everything. I had no idea it was that long.
It didn't seem like it was that long.
No,
it was.
Yeah, 20 years. Man, I was about 5 years old by then. Anyway,
it was probably NYPD.
Uh oh.
Yeah, I said it.
You think so? Hey, I don't know. I don't know these things.
During that time,
Can't put it past.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't put it past them. I mean, I nothing surprises me.
They're involved in everything in it.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
They got their hands and pocket being greased and all that. So
yeah, man. All right. One more music topic. Put some respect on Dancehall name. That is the topic of this segment. So why are we talking about this?
King.
Huh?
Especially if you're the king of dancehall, you given that title. How you never respect the king?
Exactly. So,
rather than king, come I use time and drunk in a Jasmine lap, Mr. Drama.
We live, dog. We live. Anyway, so during this pandemic, that we've all been going through, one of the things that has emerged through this is, a lot of people doing virtual events. For example, this Just Recent show we started doing virtually, and Versus started during this. So Versus is basically an online format where they get together stars to compete. Basically playing out the catalog to see who, Jill Scott versus Erykah Badu, Teddy Riley versus.
In the same category, the same genre.
Yes, same genre. And I always saw people posting about it on my feed. I didn't really pay much attention to it because it's generally not artists that I'm that much interested in. Until they did one with Bounty, Killer, and Beanie Man. I was like, I have to watch that. Mm-hmm. And so, I of course I knew all, Jamaican and Caribbean people were going to watch it, but once they set up that clash, it kind of changed the whole game for Versus. For one, they had 1.28 billion streams of this broadcast. It was like about an hour and a half, 2 hours or something like that, which was the most that they had ever gotten. 1.28 billion streams. The next one, and once they did that, it kind of changed the whole format. Where for one, Beanie and Bounty were actually in the same room versus, instead of being in different places, playing the hits, in a studio or whatever. So it kind of changed the whole thing. So what happened now is this past week, or in the past couple of weeks, Billboard magazine put out an article called The Versus Effect, which is talking about the effect of doing these kind of virtual clashes, putting, artists, all artists against each other and what have you, and the business that they'll be able to generate from that. So after the big Beanie Man Bounty clash, the friendly clash, not really a clash, but from that, Versus went on to sign a deal with Apple for Apple TV and Apple Music for distribution, with Diageo, who distributes Ciroc. And a lot of things came out specifically because of Beanie and Bounty taking it to the next level. So here's a big disrespect now. And so this, I will have to show it on my screen now. So once Billboard decided to do this, so they put out this article, and let me share this thing. All right. So here's the headline. You have Swizz, you have Timbaland. Timbaland he's not that thin, but anyway. Fred Hammond. You have all these other people. You have Snoop. You have I guess that's DMX.
You mean to tell me you didn't enjoy Teddy Riley?
Teddy Riley, Baby Biz, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, John Legend, Alicia Keys. So that is the headline, right? Mm-hmm. Versus Effect. And who is missing from that? The people who take it to the next level, Beanie Man and Bounty Killer. The biggest draw. Yeah, man. So with that said, so that's the background of all of this. So let me just kick it off with a question. Do you think that dancehall gets the respect globally? Not in Jamaica. We know Jamaica, locked on the dancehall scene. Do you think dancehall gets the respect that it deserves on a global basis for the influence that it is on music and culture? Dancehall specifically, not reggae, dancehall. Jazzy, ladies first. Kick it off.
Well, I've seen where, dancehall has really hit, internationally. If you want to say globally, internationally. I know in Japan and in, London, a lot of people do listen to like dancehall. In fact, they still dance, like, you know what I'm saying? I think there was a wave where in the States, dancehall was big. It was a huge wave. You had a lot of collabos, which unfortunately, Billboard, they should have considered that because Bounty and Beanie, they've had several collabos with American artists. No doubt. So that's indeed a slap in the face. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I think there was a wave of dancehall, just like Afro pop now is a wave. Mm-hmm. But I for that to have happened, that is the ultimate. That's the ultimate disrespect. Especially for two artists of that caliber, who've been in the game for as long decades as they have been and have made hits that we still vibe to. 2020, they made hits way back when. You know what I'm saying? That we still vibe to. People still sample. For them to be dismissed. That's grimy. That's grimy. But didn't they go back and put him on there?
That's too late.
Too late. Your first thought is always your true thoughts.
Yes.
I'm not justifying it. I'm not justifying it at all.
And actually they didn't, because what I pulled up was the article as it exists today. I think what's the name? Swizz Beats, they put out a Photoshop version of it.
They
did. They did.
And they apologized.
They spoke on it.
But it's not their thing to do, right? It's not their magazine. That's Billboard not respecting the craft.
Yeah, but you have to think about it as a whole. Like people in general, like us four here, we would understand the effect Bounty Killer and Beanie Man would have on music as a whole because we follow them from 90s all the way up to now, right? So take a backstory now, right? You think about the article that was written. I haven't read the article. My wife did. And I mean, just before I came on the show, I was speaking to her about the topics we were going to talk about. And then me and her started talking about the article itself and what it said. I haven't read it, but she was telling me what the article said, which is basically everything you just said about Beanie and Bounty. You know what I mean? But the person who wrote the article don't have, I guess, contact or any knowledge of who is putting out the picture or any say so over who or what the picture should be or who should be on the picture. I don't know. But the article really gives Beanie and Bounty, from what Michelle was telling me, the article really gives Beanie and Bounty the all their accolades. You know, all of the big up they should.
That's a horrible,
horrible
mistake as a journalist.
Exactly.
As a journalist,
I agree.
You're supposed to be privy and knowledgeable of anything that you post and whoever is involved in what you're writing about.
Billboard is that big of a iconic.
Right.
They have to be on top of their game on this. And let me put some perspective on it. Dancehall has always been music for the people. So as far as the people go around the world, it's not really ever on the Billboard charts or what may have you. So among the people, it's popular. Now, the people that basically compile the Billboard charts, they don't, like Mr. Manu said, they don't know anything about dancehall. They don't know who's popular. They don't know, what's what. So all they're really looking at for the article is numbers. They can't relate to it at all. So when you think about things like that, when it's driven by the people and the people don't have any say on what's basically listed on the charts, it makes sense that they would overlook something like that. I mean, it's disrespectful, but it's not surprising to me at all.
So it's not an attraction thing as well. Let me say one more thing, because I'm gonna bring Michelle back into it. Before this versus thing even happened, me and my wife got into a big argument about this versus thing.
That's clashing. We start this.
So listen, that's what I'm telling her. I'm like, listen, you don't understand. Ain't no way in hell Beanie Man and Bounty Killer gonna be in Jamaica together and not be on the same stage.
Yeah.
It's like, we gonna see. We gonna see.
I
said, ain't no way in hell Beanie Man and Bounty Killer won't be competing. Like it's an actual. We gonna see. It's not about dancehall. It's not about clashing. It's not about this. I'm like, Shell, you don't understand. It's different. But the numbers spoke for themselves, and
so
they should have looked at the numbers of the viewers before even.
But the viewers don't buy the magazine though. Going to buy the magazine or where the magazine is going to be, they'll put the pictures of people that's going to be familiar.
My thing is this. I haven't read the article either. I mean, I pulled it up and I skimmed through it. But in the world that we're in today, people read headlines and they look at pictures.
Right.
So that most people will not read that whole article, but they will look and see
the picture
on it and who are those guys and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So so Bounty, I was reading another article. So he said he and Swizz had known each other for years, and so he said you don't put any fault on him. But from the people who were researching, so talking about numbers, right? So we're not talking in this case about numbers of sales, right? So we're talking about just the numbers that have streamed in this particular format. So if these two artists in this format brought the most viewership out of everybody else doing it, it's a big disrespect to not even I don't care if I talk about that in the article. To not have them in the headline is straight disrespect. You know what I mean?
It's people driven. Again, it's driven by the people.
That's the thing. Like I'm saying,
1.28 billion. That's people.
But do you honestly think? Do you honestly think the writers did not look at any of the numbers for viewers?
There's no way
they spoke on. No, they did, because they spoke on it. But the art didn't match the article.
It's like basically everything that Chris said about the whole. I mean, about that particular verses. They spoke on that. you know, but there was no picture. So I was thinking maybe it was because of where the magazine is published or where it's printed, or who they want people to walk by and see.
So could we be blaming the wrong people then? Because the article covered everything. It was the picture that didn't depict what the article was saying.
It's all one thing. It's all Billboard magazine.
Of course. It's as a collective, it's Billboard's fault. It looks bad on Billboard.
But they dropped the ball big time.
Yeah.
But you know what? So to me, this is not an isolated incident, right? I think basically, dancehall, as Jasmine properly pointed out, there was a wave. So like 2003 and so with Sean Paul and a lot of collabs going on, and
when we really dance.
You could go all the way to 2020. Like 2015, 16, because that's when I guess Drake became Jamaican.
Right.
He became the best Jamaican rapper in the United States.
That's exactly where I was going next. So basically, you had people who have straight up dancehall beats in their songs, but don't call it dancehall and don't give credit to dancehall. So like Richard Stevens did a video about that, and Vegas did a video about that. We're talking about they're taken from our culture, and no problem, yes, but credit where it comes from, because when you credit because they actually like make up a name for it, so this is like Caribbean soul or something like that. It's dancehall. It's straight up dancehall.
Caribbean fusion and all this other kind
that's so
yeah, tropical way. So if you call it what it is, now the people who are really doing dancehall, that will help them get a bigger market, get a bigger buzz. So it is, this versus thing is one
but
part
so
of a
many
bigger
people
picture.
Take it. Even Kanye West take Fuzzy Jones and use it.
Of course, but we can take it back to hip hop. Period.
Hip hop is.
You want to talk about where hip hop came from?
Exactly.
African Bambaataa.
Jazzy.
Nice try.
Big Herb.
Oh, you hang up on people. Let me click here.
How about Cool Herc?
Cool Herc. So
Cool Herc.
I think the article said that this is what the 47. This past August was like the 47-year anniversary since basically Cool Herc string up his sound in his it was a Bronx, Bronx up, and basically that was the beginning of hip hop. So let me kind of take this in a different direction. So we've kind of acknowledged that dancehall has been disrespected. With that said, we can establish that. So what do we do, and how do we? And this is just something for we as the global. It's not just the artists, because it wasn't just the hip hop artists who helped hip hop bust globally. It took other people doing different things, put in that movie like breaking and what have you. What are some things that need to be done to get dancehall more, respected globally? Because
Shotters too. What's up?
Shotters
too.
Shotters, more shotters. So that. What do we need to do? When I say we, like I said, it just needs to be. It's more than an artist.
An influx of artists, getting back out there, because a lot of African artists, these Afro pop, all that, they put out music. They got
more than music.
Creating whole albums. Straight from the motherland. So just like how that wave hit, whatever was happening then, whatever was the inspiration, put the music out. Put the music out.
Right. So the way I see it, and actually, something I hadn't really thought about, but I thought everybody kind of knew for a fact that reggaeton is basically dancehall. That's where it came from.
No, they don't know.
I'm from the word.
They added a few more drums,
because I remember back in the early 90s, there was a boom 99, and that's basically that same like a beat is what reggaeton come out of. It's Budge right here talk about it for the first time, where him says, reggaeton, they don't credit dancehall at all. When it's obvious that's where it came from. But
and that's where it starts. It starts with the dancehall artists, the companies, the record labels, from Jamaica, actually making people pay and be liable for what they created. We don't do it. We don't do it whatsoever. I've heard there are a couple of instances where, dancehall artists got paid, for music that they've done or music that was copied or, reused. And the amount was minimal. It was like 10, 20 grand and things like that. When money in music, as far as residuals and points and things like that, is astronomical. So, it really takes somebody taking a stance and saying, hey, look, we created this, taking it to a higher court and getting paid and setting a precedent. We don't do it. And that's just the fact of the matter.
Yeah, but it just more like the most focus need to be placed on dancehall business more than anything. Just like you said.
Exactly.
The business of dancehall. Yeah.
Right.
Not just a hustle. Man, a hustle.
Yeah. We think short term, okay, all right, they're gonna use this beat or whatever, or this verse, and let me get a 20 grand off it. Forget that. No, let me get points on the record or a piece of the record, and my family will eat for the rest of our life. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget short term, think about long term. And speaking of that, there's Master P has a series out, No Limit. It's like a 5-part. Everybody should just go take a look at that.
I heard about it. What's it on? Is it on Netflix or?
It's on Netflix.
One of those. Okay.
It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix.
I've heard people talking about it. Yeah.
Definitely. And I would like everybody to take a look at that, because I actually remember, and K Rich can attest to it and all that, when Master P was selling records out of his trunk, in Mo City, and going to U of H and things like that. I remember these things. And for him to be where he is right now and his level of thinking, we all need to take a look at that and see, where he is, because he changed the industry. And I say that to say
everything.
Us as a people, Jamaicans, we need to look at what he did, because he didn't take a deal. He took a chance on himself and made billions. Okay. And not only himself, but everybody around him ate. You understand himself? And he made sure of that. But anyway, take a look at that.
He could have been the first billionaire if everybody around him didn't eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a great point.
He's the ultimate hip hop hustler, because if you think about it, he's mastered every level of that game. Master P, Master P played in the NBA, I think, or played in the CBA.
Yeah, he did. Charlotte.
NBA. Master P, he was a sports agent. Master P owned a phone company. He got a clothing line. He acts. He's a producer. He's an executive producer. He's a rapper.
He's a Jamaican.
He's on
By default.
Nickelodeon. Go from the Calio Projects to Nickelodeon. You the ultimate.
Hold on. Shoe company. Rice.
Everything.
Okay.
I got to watch this. So that's a great point, D. Just you know the industry from that standpoint. I don't. But I think that's probably that's one answer in just stepping up from a business standpoint, right?
Exactly. Because I think this is a responsibility of the probably one of those the Jamaica Tourist Board. One of them people at Jamaica. They need to teach, because in my opinion, the people that we come across, they don't really know or focus much on the business of it. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you look at things as a business, all right, it might be a touchy subject to some people still, but if you think about sound business, right? Dub plate. You be able to buy a dub plate, right? How do you get that money back from a dub plate? You won't never get it back.
No. So that's for personal.
It's like a personal thing.
It's for clout.
That's it.
You can't put there's a price on clout, but if you're in competitions and you use it and you might win a competition and gain, that's the only way.
Don't pay out that much. You know what I mean? So
but that's the only way.
I don't think. But I don't know how much they pay up, but I don't think it's gonna pay you back. But then you have a different side of it. Like now, Stone Love have Stone Love mixes on Tidal.
That's a business move.
There is a
That's a business move
to make money from it. But
because I still have Stone Love tapes. That's it.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So
I'm still on 8-track. No, I'm just joking.
You're gone too far now.
But so basically, when I think about this dancehall thing, I think of the part that I saw hip hop take, right? So we moved to the US in the early 80s. So I basically saw the entire move of hip hop from being this like an underground thing to being mainstream accepted. I remember the times when you could only listen to hip hop on an AM station, KYLK 1600, certain times of the day, and it was underground like that. And then it started to get more mainstream accepted once, you had movies like Breaking and Beat Street. So now more people paying attention to it now. So a lot of the, people come with the clothing line and that. So it is like they were selling the overall culture. The dancing, the break dancing, and the movies and the clothes. And it's really all those things combined that brought it. It wasn't just the artist. That's what I'm saying. So there's a role for the artist to play, but there's a role for people like us to play, to do different things, to expose it to, and kind of sell the overall culture. So
that's a good point. Now, can we monetize the dancehall lifestyle though?
Of course we can.
All right. Sometimes
this is the same way they did hip hop.
All right, check this out.
We different.
There's something one time like Vybz Kartel will never know his understanding power until they go to Africa. In real life, Africa worship Vybz Kartel anyway. So it's not like dancehall don't already have the exposure. They just need to capitalize on the exposure because if you don't capitalize on the exposure, you won't eat. That's what I'm saying.
And
focus on dancehall business.
Yeah, that's right. It comes on.
There are cultures and sects in Japan. Okay, they don't speak English.
Oh yeah.
All right, they don't speak one word of English.
Yeah,
but
I was
they can sing a dancehall song
from beginning to end.
They can sing and dance.
This and this, and you're like, what?
Everything.
Yes.
So that's the power, that we have. You understand what I'm saying? And I asked that question to be facetious, but can we capitalize on Of course we can. I mean, it
just takes teaching and like, all right, if you think about the direction the music like dancehall and reggae, because now you have artists that's doing both dancehall and reggae. Chronix and Protege have a movement like none other right now.
Yep.
So it's not like it's not heading in the right direction in some lanes. In a lot of lanes, it is like those your Protege movement different than that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Protege movement is different.
But we've seen these movements.
Everybody.
Yeah.
We've seen these movements. It's again, be about the business first.
Yeah, but all right. Think about Chronix now. Chronix won't perform without a band.
Yeah.
These guys are now setting certain standards for themselves.
Exactly.
For the music. So
you know how much money Chronix has turned on over the years with that position, saying either my whole band is coming or I'm not coming.
I mean, once he got on the Tonight Show, I knew it was over.
Yeah.
He was gonna get anything he wanted.
So I, as I mentioned, every time I hear that story about the Tonight Show, I think of how what the song "We Do It for the Love, We Don't Do It for the Likes," and you think about how when I hear was it Jimmy Fallon tell a story about how that came about. He had no idea who Chronix was.
Right.
Nope.
He was just in Jamaica at a resort, and music was playing, and him asked, "Who is that? I like that," and find out who it is, months later, Chronix is on the show. So
that's how Riri was founded.
Yeah. So once you do your thing and do it the right way, do it out of the love that you have for it. Who needs to hear it will hear it when So that I think that every time I think about that story, it's just it's motivational. Just keep doing your thing. It will reach what it needs to reach, how it's supposed to reach. So
anyway, need more Rebel shirts.
Somebody needs to hear that. Oh, I got plenty. What you need? You need a Smedia?
Exactly. Hey, you need to push more Rebel shirts out, more Rebel gear.
Hey, it's part of the culture. So sports, text. Last topic before we let go. I watch politics.
Cool. So
hey, take off that.
No, not that. But I was sitting back watching the resurgence of all these leagues come back up, the NBA, the NFL, and baseball and things like that. And it ran across my mind. I said, "Damn, what about the draft? What are happening to these athletes that are leaving college and trying to transition into the league? Where are they right now?" Okay, and one of the things I noticed was like players like in the NBA, Giannis. I'm not gonna try his last name. Yeah, Greek freak. He basically said that he wasn't able to practice because he didn't have a facility because of the COVID-19. Like where he has like a small modest house or apartment or whatever have you, and there's no basketball goal. So I'm like, okay, so if he's in the league and he can't practice, where the college students, okay, that live in dorms and stuff like that, where are they? Okay, how are they getting prepared for the next level? So I was thinking about that, and I said, you know what, that's something we need to bring up. And our boy Richard Royal, I said, I know he knows about this, so I said, let me reach out to him and let him get a handle on it and speak on it from that level, because that's something we are not talking about. We're talking about how it affects, all these players that are making millions of dollars right now, but we're not talking about all these up and coming, stars that, are trying to make their way in the league and make their mark and see where they're at. So this COVID is affecting, a lot of people in different ways. So I'm gonna let them take over on that.
It's not just only have affected the draft or the draft process. It affected them because there was no March Madness. Think about that.
Yeah, all that exposure. Yeah,
there was no Big 12 tournament. There was none of that stuff.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, was pissed off about that because he had something he wanted to prove.
Yeah.
So give us some background. Give us background on it.
Yeah.
On your relationship.
Oh, that's my.
For the people at home who don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for everyone that don't know, my little brother is Nick Richards. Played for Kentucky for 3 years. Did fairly well. Now he's on his way to the NBA. So keep him in your prayers and wish him well.
So what's going on with the combine? Because the NBA season has been pushed back. So we don't know when it's going to end, really. Depending on the playoffs. And then the combine is slated to be somewhere after that.
October. I don't know. I mean, nothing is set in stone because, like I said, the SEC tournament, Big 12, all those tournaments, March Madness, none of that stuff happened. So it's basically just everything that's being postponed. Remember, like the Greek freak said, he didn't have anywhere to work out. I kind of doubt that. if he says.
Well, I have no reason to doubt it.
Go buy a gym. Go buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he could, but I think what he meant was basically
it wasn't expecting that he would need it.
Right. Yeah. So 24-hour fitness down the street was closed. I couldn't go to my neighbor's house, and I didn't just have a live-in, basketball court or what may have you. So I wasn't able to.
But everybody's telling the team got to live in court though.
He's out there at McGregor Park.
Yeah. No, but they found ways to work out. I'll just say that.
Okay.
And stay in shape or whatever, everything, like everybody's like at a standstill. Like, everybody's just like, okay, just wait. Let's just see what happens. Let's just watch what this new wave everybody's talking about, if that's going to happen, if the cases are going to continue to go down, or everybody's just basically watching. And then they're also learning from like how the NBA has learned from. I think the Europe League did the same thing. Everybody just stayed in one place. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Just like how they have in the Champions League now over in I think Germany. Everybody's playing in the same same country. Yeah. So they're learning from different sports how to navigate through this process and keep their fans entertained.
So it seems like the NBA bubble is the safest bet, because we haven't heard of many cases there. And I wonder, Jazzy, I mean, you're a former basketball standout star.
Oh yeah, I forgot you.
Do you know any thing about the WNBA as far as this process goes?
No, I don't, because I never watched them. They were a huge bore.
Oh, Jazzy.
They were a huge bore. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. I don't watch women play basketball. But aren't they getting tested like often?
Yeah, so the way the NBA has done it, they've done it well, right? Because they've had this concept of the bubble where everybody kind of have to be there. They can't really go anywhere. They're basically kind of quarantining all amongst each other, rather than being out in the general population. Unless you're Lou Williams going to a strip club for some wings,
Lemon pepper Lou.
Green.
Yeah. What I mean? So, but that. It seems to be working. Is in other sports.
Yeah,
baseball,
I mean,
it seems to be working as well, because
I tell you
have them
what,
traveling around to different stadiums.
I didn't expect for them to get to the playoffs this early, because I was like, watch there be an outbreak and they have to shut things down. But I mean, as you can see, we're in the second day of the playoffs, and we're doing well. So
who's gonna win?
It's all who's gonna win?
Rockets gonna win.
Hey, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. That.
I tell you what,
nobody has home court advantage.
It's perfect for the Rockets.
It is.
Say that.
It's
perfect.
Shit,
exactly.
Perfect.
Like you said, no
home
court advantage.
Yeah.
No home court advantage, and any team that gets hot or is on a streak, can take it off.
They are streaky. Very streaky.
We'll
very
see.
streaky.
It's. I would say of all the sports, I think the NBA has been the most watchable. It don't seem all that different. You know what I mean?
No,
like I
said, it doesn't.
It seems. I'm sure it's different for the players, but you don't have the crowd there. But people watching at home, I mean, you still hear like a crowd noise going on. It looks like just a regular game.
They have the virtual players,
the virtual fans,
crowd out there. And
I tried watching the Astros the other day. I was like, this ain't gonna work.
This is boring as is, bro.
They
say it, but here, baseball is, to me, I'm gonna say, in my opinion, is boring to watch.
It is.
When I go to a game, it's different.
Baseball playoffs are great. I can't watch regular season baseball. Yeah.
Now, when I'm watching now, it seems like the players are uninspired and unmotivated. It's like
I would be too.
It's terrible.
Everybody's it's like hard to look.
It is.
They pull it.
Yeah, man. So we are brother Nick Richards. We're looking out for you in a Houston Rockets uniform. One day soon. Yeah, man. So keep doing your thing.
Hey, I wouldn't mind that.
Speak it into existence, please.
Speak it into existence. But hey, that's something that most of us hadn't really thought about. Those who are preparing to go to the next level and the impact it has had on them. I have to change things around, but hey, things work out as they work out. So
everybody's at home, but I mean, the good thing about this part of this whole process, I mean, I tell the one boy, I say, yo, just remember, those who don't prepare will be exposed.
Of course.
Stay ready.
Do what you need to do, because at the end of the day, so many of these guys are just used to always doing the same thing over and over. They're not disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
And they're used to people catering to them. Telling them what to do, where to be, how to do it. I mean, now you got to do it on your own.
Exactly.
This kid literally got locked up. He was locked up in Kentucky with his girlfriend for like 3 months, just stuck.
Yeah. I mean, so certain people who are just naturally gifted, who don't really work hard, yes, people like that will be exposed. You know?
Yeah.
So, anyway, friends and family, we'll come up on the last segment. Now we call Liquor More, or just give a 1-minute speech about something. I would start off with ladies first. Jasmine always has the most inspirational words to say. Jazzy, thanks for joining us. Give you a 1-minute speech.
1 minute?
Hey, when is your next play coming out? What's going on there?
Yeah, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
You on Broadway?
I just finished a film.
Huh?
Oh.
I just finished shooting
Not a play, film.
A film? Really?
Film. We call it film.
It was like yesterday.
Film.
No, film.
Film. Okay.
Get your dyslexia together.
What's the film about? Karachi film.
It's based off of a novel that's actually being sold on Amazon. So really? I can't really talk about it too much. But I think the next play will be we're going to do Josephine Baker again in theater this year.
Which one did I see?
You saw
Josephine Baker?
No. Wait, you saw two? Dub, didn't you see two? Maybe it was
one.
I don't know. I think you saw Booker T at the front.
We don't all look alike.
Yes.
I saw Booker T.
Yes.
I saw that one.
That was good. Yeah. You were. You
the lie, I have any of your plays, but hey.
Hey.
Oh, she's awesome.
Skills, man.
Awesome.
She's really good. She don't just look like that. She's actually good. Oh God, I interrupted your speech.
Did you forget I was still on?
Beat him in the seat. Just beat him in the seat.
Don't act like that's new.
When the movie dropping?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because it's yeah.
You feel good about it?
Yeah, I think so.
Is this your first movie? Or you've done
no.
all that? Okay.
What's your role? Can you talk about your role?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, what's your role?
I'm a wife, and
how hard was that?
That's cold, bro.
Such a jerk.
All right.
Such a jerk. Anyway, I'm a wife whose husband is having an affair with her best friend.
Wow.
That's deep.
Huh?
Yeah. Who got killed? Yeah, I mean that's the next.
Nobody.
Nobody got killed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's a part 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be ongoing series.
Hey, are you on IMDb?
Yes, I am.
Really? Okay. All
yes.
Right. I'm gonna see what you got going on. Jazzy, you need to let us know when you have these things going on so we can promote these things. I didn't even know. I just happened to ask.
Well, she's on the show now, so this is an opportunity.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
What's the name of the movie? Oh, you can't tell that either?
Okay.
You are
we'll look out for
it. Something coming soon by some name.
But I'm in it.
I had some pretty steamy scenes.
Arsenal's biggest fan. Thank you for joining us. Give us some words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom. I appreciate the invite to the show. Call me again when you want to come back again. No problem. Now we're not change the background though.
Yeah, man.
This one right there. Yeah. No, but right now, Fatakir have me. I think about keeping my birthday party outside. You know? So Thanksgiving weekend, Evolution is coming somewhere outside. Only for space and probably one big sound. Yeah.
Mask required.
Bass Odyssey. Bring a sentence song.
No, we don't bring no sentence song. Also, shortly from now, I don't know exactly when. I guess it's an official announcement. I'm doing an online radio station. So yeah. So I'll be doing that down the line sometime before my birthday party. So the party will probably be, one of the things that we unveil like an official area.
So just reasoning online.
Can I get that guest segment? You know, I used to be a wicked selector.
No, you know if you ask one. No? Just say you want one. Look here now.
Okay. I don't really remember how to do it, but yeah.
Just our reasoning is a show that would be, you know, where people can be interactive and call in and, you know, stuff like that.
You know, like the name says, just reason.
Just reason. We kick it.
That's it. All the shape.
I would love for it to be every Wednesday on Rich Royal Radio. Just a reason, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Just a reason. Hey, yeah, man.
You can have one DJ play some old time song or play something that lead the conversation and, you know, make it a nice show. But maybe get the thing going first.
So it's not a nice show?
Start it from there. No.
Make it a nice show.
Don't do me like that. Yeah.
Not this bootleg shit y'all got going on.
Yeah. Good shit going on.
Jesus.
Yeah, man, we'll look out for that.
Must be an Arsenal fan. That's why you know, number 8 fit on. That's some.
Hey, I tell you, we have a plan. 2032. Watch. Watch.
Yes.
So, it's a season, politics season. All I ask everybody to do is do their due diligence and get out there and vote, man. And
I will.
Hey.
Hey.
Go ahead. No, just get out there and vote. And again, when I say do your due diligence, like I scroll through social media. I'm not a big social media people. I scroll and I read articles and things like that. But one of the things I do also is when I read something, I go and I check the source, and then I check that source, and I make sure that more than one person is reporting. This thing. Okay. So that's what I do. So once I go through that process, then I say, okay, and this is what it is. I formulate my own decision, and then I go with that. I don't just read a headline and repost and share it and do all that foolishness. Okay. Yep. So do that, make your own decisions, and you'll be better for it.
Yeah, that is such an important point, and we will do a whole segment on that. But you know, and it's more important now than ever because of we're coming in election season, and there are people who are purposely trying to trick you, and it's easy for misinformation to spread. And it's what Dwayne said just now. It's not hard at all.
It's not. It takes a couple of clicks. And yes. I'm just make one point on that. So I read an article, and it's true. I did my due diligence on it. So they put a fake news article out, right? And see how many times it was shared. Okay, and the fake news article was shared 3,000 times. And then they put out an actual article, and that was shared 250 times.
Yeah.
Now, the difference was the headline is what grabbed you. Yep. So it's easy to do. I mean, and people out there with a different agenda than yours or want to sway you in a certain type of way or manner, and they're going to put a headline out there for drama. And that's what draws people in. So,
loses though, because at this moment, I mean, in the past, the news would be to inform. At this moment, the news is to advertise. It's just another business. So obviously,
it's a numbers game.
Exactly.
Get your likes. Get your likes up.
Which is kind of what I said. With going back to the being a man bounty thing. Most people not reading articles. They look at the headline. They look at the picture, and that's it. Share it and done. Yeah. So we just have to be really careful about that. But so I doing that's a very important point. Like I said, we'll talk about it in more detail. So my last thoughts is put some respect on dancehall name, right? Bottom line, I mean, it's Jamaica, our expression. We look about with Talawa. We as such a small island have had such a oversized effect on world culture and music and
small as we are.
Right. Yeah. So we need to be compensated accordingly. And again, as Dwayne pointed out, that we can't just blame other people. We can't blame other people because people got to look out for themselves. We need to look out for ourselves. And so we need to do what we can do. We need to get more, take the business more seriously. And those of us who are not made directly in the industry need to do our part to help spread the culture and monetize it so people can eat the food. You know what I mean? So it's very important. When Richard Stevens and Vegas put out that video a few years back, I meant to do a reason about that. But this versus thing kind of just bring it back up again. That people know the music and we're getting the exposure.
Of course,
we should profit accordingly. Not just everybody just namming off our name. Anyway, friends and family, thank you for this wonderful reasoning about all sorts of topics. So remember, every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, we talk the things.
Soon on the radio, Yeah.
Soon on the radio, and not the second thing we have going on.
Yeah. We
have to be Arsenal fan.
We're gonna do it official and do it the right way.
Yeah.
Studio and everything.
Yeah, man. All my neutral on the people going already. Anyway, friends and family. Until next time, next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Give thanks.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
Love.
Bless.